Welcome back to my channel. I'm Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. So two of my favorite foods to enjoy during a football game are jalapeno poppers and a good sausage. Well, on today's video, I'm going to combine them both and make a jalapeno popper sausage. Stay tuned. Alright, so before I get started on this video, I do want to thank two people for the inspiration behind this video. The first one is Eric from Two Guys in the Cooler. We were talking about 3 weeks ago, and he mentioned that he was thinking about making a jalapeno popper sausage, and I thought that would be a great idea. So Eric, thanks for the inspiration behind it. And I also want to thank Bradley from Chud's Barbecue. He actually already made a jalapeno popper sausage video. Mine's going to be a little bit different. I hope you like it. Alright, let's go over the ingredients to our jalapeno popper sausage. I am starting with 14 pounds of pork, 4 pounds of brisket trim, which is a total of 18 pounds, 102 grams of salt, 40 grams of black pepper, 40 grams of paprika, 25 grams of cayenne pepper, 20 grams of cumin, 30 grams of turmeric, 30 grams of garlic powder, 25 grams of onion powder. I also used 4 8-ounce boxes, which is 4 boxes of cream cheese. Now, the trick to this cheese is to freeze it and try to slice it. Now, it might crumble on you, but trust me, it's the best way to do it because it's just hard to slice refrigerated cream cheese. I'm also using 2 pounds of roasted jalapenos and then 3 pounds of cooked bacon. Stay tuned. All right, so here's my 14 pounds of pork and also my 4 pounds of brisket trimming. I often get asked what I save all the brisket trimmings for. Well, this is what I save them for when I make sausage, okay? So now these pork shoulders still have the bone in, so I'm gonna take the bones out and also cut the pork into chunks that fit down the throat of my grinder. So I'm going to cut these up and debone them, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, let's roast our jalapenos. Got them rinsed off. I'm outside at my Yoder flat top. Just spread them out. Grab your grill gun, light it up, char them up. So that took about 5 minutes. Grab yourself a plastic Ziploc bag and throw your jalapenos in there and let them sweat. We'll see you guys inside. All right, so I've got the pork cut up and also our brisket trimmings are in here. And by the way, that was a Wagyu brisket. Look at the marbling on that. So this is gonna be extra special sausage. So I've got my roasted jalapenos right here. Now I did leave the seeds in there. That's optional, you can take the seeds out if you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and add our seasonings. All right, we're going to give this a good mix. All right, we've got all of our seasonings mixed in there with our jalapenos. I'm going to set up my grinder and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so I've got the grinder set up and I've got the hopper already loaded. And as you can see, I did have the attachments inside my freezer just to keep everything nice and cold. So let's start this baby up. All right, I've got the meat ground up. Now it's time to add our bacon. And again, I had 3 pounds of bacon. So just gonna break this up into small pieces. Mix it all in there. I want some big pieces of bacon in the sausage, okay? So it's okay if you have a big piece in there. They don't have to be all tiny. And this was thick cut bacon, okay? All right, so I've got our bacon in chunks, not even bits, okay? This is a lot of bacon, and I'd like to bite into a nice piece of bacon in my jalapeno popper sausage. So at this point, just gonna mix it up. The last thing that we're gonna add is the cream cheese. And I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. So this is only 18 pounds of meat. I'm used to making batches of 25, 30 pounds. So I'm just gonna mix this by hand. And by the way, I did add a few ice cubes down into the grinder just to push out that extra meat. Little pro tip for you guys. So I may not have to add that much water to the mixture here. Look at that jalapeno distribution. That is perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of water, probably 1 cup. I did add about 8 ice cubes, so just factor that in. Probably half a cup of water, plus this 1 cup that I added now. Keep on mixing. That's feeling really nice and tacky right there. All right, so I've got the sausage mixture all nice and tacky. So here's our cream cheese, and again, I froze it and then cut it into these cubes. Some are small, some are big, and that's okay. Again, this was 4 boxes of Philadelphia cream cheese, so I'm just gonna mix this in. All right, that feels really good right there. I've got the protein extraction that I want. Let's check it out. I gotta tell you, this is really nice and sticky. This is perfect. So I'm just gonna make myself a little patty, fry it up, and see how we did. All right, so that sausage patty is fantastic. A ton of flavor and a little spicy, just the way I like it. But one thing that I forgot, and it's a crucial mistake if I would have forgotten, is to add my pink curing salt, okay? So I'm adding 3 1/4 teaspoons of the pink curing salt. So I'm gonna distribute this and mix it really well. And the only reason I'm adding the pink salt or the curing salt is because I'm gonna cold smoke these sausages, okay? So I'm gonna mix this up really well. All right, so I've got the curing salt mixed in there, and one thing that I noticed is that the cream cheese is crumbling apart, okay? So I've got these really small pieces of cream cheese, but I think we'll be okay, okay? Let me get my stuffer ready and case up these sausages. All right, so I've got the meat inside the stuffer, and one thing that I wanted to show you is that cream cheese kind of crumbled into smaller pieces, which I'm okay with because it's distributed a little bit more evenly throughout the entire sausage mixture. So let me load up my stuffing container. All right, just like that. All right, so the next step is just to grab your casings. Now I did pre-rinse these in warm water just to remove the excess salt because I do store them in salt. Find the end, stick 2 of your fingers in there, just like that. Pick up some of that water. All right, wet your horn a little bit. Slide your casing on just like this. All right, tie a knot at the end. Just like that. And one thing I like to do is just add some ice on your tray. Keeps everything ice cold. Let's get to stuffing. All right, I'm gonna get all these casings stuffed up and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so I've got about 6 of these wheels and I do have a little bit of air pockets. So I'm just gonna use my sausage picker and get rid of those air pockets. All right, you guys have seen me do this about 1,000 times. I do have my pan marked at 6.5 inches. So I measure it out, 6.5 inches, pinch, 6.5 inches, and then I like to twirl, okay? And twirl until your casing is nice and stiff, just like that. Show you a couple more. 6.5, pinch, 6.5, pinch, and twirl, okay? Really easy stuff. All right, I'm gonna twist the rest of these sausages and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so I've got all of the sausages twisted up and you can see some of the cream cheese through that casing, and it's still freaking me out that that cream cheese kind of crumbled and turned into smaller pieces. Again, I don't know what cream cheese is made out of, but it was kind of weird to see it do that. But you can see pieces of the cream cheese throughout several of the pieces of the sausage. So I know that we've got enough cream cheese in the sausage. So I've got my Yoda Frontiersman warming up at 140 degrees. Let's head outside. All right, so we're outside of my Yoda Frontiersman, and I do have it running at 140 degrees. So I'm on the right side of my Frontiersman, top shelf. And I am not going to separate these links only because the casings aren't dry enough. So this is one of the things that you'll have to do instead of separating my sausages like I normally do, is just smoke them in the wheel that you have, that sausage wheel. Just separate them a little bit. Get that smoke all the way around the sausage. Make sure none of them are touching. All right, let me load up the other side and I'll bring you guys right back. Okay, I've got these sausages loaded up. Again, the pit is running at 140 degrees. It's gonna smoke at 140 for a couple of hours. After 2 hours, I'm gonna crank up the temperature to 175, where it's gonna run for 2 hours. Then I'm gonna crank up the temperature to 225, and I'm looking for an internal temperature of 155 degrees. I'll bring you guys back as I pull them off. Stay tuned. All right, so the total cook time has been 4 hours. Again, the first 2 hours were at 140 degrees, and the second 2 hours were at 175. I was gonna ramp up the smoker to 225 degrees, but I didn't have to. I'm already sitting at 155 degrees internal. And look at the color of these sausages right here. So I've got my ice bath right here on my smoker. But look at that. And they're not very hot, okay? So you can see the cream cheese in there, the jalapenos. So I'm just gonna put them in my ice bath and cool them off. Stop that cooking process. Look at that color. All right, so at this point, I'm just gonna let the sausages cool off in this ice bath. I'm gonna drain the water, pop them in my fridge. Tomorrow evening, we're gonna have some of these for dinner. Stay tuned. All right, so it's the very next day. I've got my Yoder Y640 pellet smoker running at 275 degrees. I'm using Jealous Devil pellets. So let's go ahead and start cooking these sausages. Again, 275 degrees. These are only gonna take about 30 minutes. Just laying them on the top rack. Just wipe them off with a rag. Just get them nice and clean. Get the grill marks off of them. All right, so the sausages are gonna cook for about 30 minutes. Let's go inside and show you how I vacuum seal these. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I separate the sausages and then wipe them down and then vacuum seal them, just so you guys can see that process. So I've got a whole link here. And what I do is I take some scissors and cut it really close to the sausage, but leave some of the twist on the sausage, okay? And what'll happen, you'll have a little nipple stick out like this. What you wanna do is just cut that down because that's gonna be hard to chew. So I clip that off, okay? Get it really close to the sausage itself, okay? Just like that. So see, this one's a pretty long center piece right here. Cut it close to the sausage. You're gonna end up with a nice little nipple right here. Just trim that off, just like that, okay? The next step is you will have some grill marks from your smoker on the sausage. Just wipe them down, okay? That'll come off. I'm using some paper towels, some damp paper towels. There you go. See how that's nice and clean? That's what you want right there. So I'm gonna clip all of these and wipe them down. And I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so let's vacuum seal these babies. I've got my meat chamber vac right here. So I'm just gonna grab 4 of these sausages. And I like to place them in there just side by side. And I put 4 per pack. Okay, just like that. So there's 3 on the bottom and 1 on the top. Just lay your vacuum sealer bag over the sealing unit right here. Lower it down. And it starts automatically, okay? So what the vacuum chamber is doing right now is it's counting down from 30 down to 0. It's building a vacuum inside the chamber itself. Once it hits to 0, it vacuums it real quick, and then it's gonna seal it for 2.5 seconds. And you can control the amount of vacuum time and also the amount of sealing time. So check this out. It happens really quick. That's how fast it happens. And watch this. Look at that. I gotta tell you, it doesn't get any easier than that. That's exactly what you want. I'm really happy with my meat chamber vac. If you guys are interested in one of these and you're serious about sausage making or vacuum sealing, check out the links below. I'm gonna finish off the rest of these and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so the jalapeno popper sausages are ready. I took them to an internal temperature of 160 degrees and they are ready. Again, you can see some of that cream cheese on the surface there. So let's slice into this bad boy right here. See how we did. Oh yeah, look at that. Got some cheese, some jalapeno in there. Nice and juicy. Look at that. Look at that juice just coming out of there. Nice and cheesy as well. Oh yeah. Let's give these bad boys a try. All right, let's give this jalapeno popper sausage a try and see how we did. And look at that cream cheese in there. That fat is just dripping from this sausage too. So here we go. Holy smokes, these sausages are delicious. You know, it's got a little bit of heat coming from the jalapeno, and you can definitely taste that cream cheese and the bacon that's in this sausage. Check it out. All right, let's check the snappiness. Here we go. It's there. And last but not least, you know I've got to have myself a Texas taco. Check it out. All right, so this jalapeno popper sausage is definitely on the top 3, maybe even the top 2 sausages that I've ever made. This is absolutely delicious. You know, I'm still puzzled on what happened to that frozen cream cheese when I mixed it in with a sausage mixture. It kind of broke apart on me, almost fell apart, but you know what? It works. Look at that. We have cream cheese throughout the entire sausage, which is absolutely perfect. I hope you guys enjoyed this jalapeno popper video. If this is your first time to my channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Until next time, Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. See ya.